Yo, if you're tuning in. That boy Cario season, what's up? E says, Zeke, Happy New Year. Happy New Year, my man. Happy New Year, everybody. Big day today. Big day today. Let me get this thing out the way. Big fucking day today. You know you got my dogs playing. We finna put out the ass. Ole Miss's little storybook. That shit's over. Before chat gets flooded, what you think of Oscar Durap receptions? I'll look and see what it is, but I can go ahead and tell you I'm probably not gonna like it. Okay, it's 1.5. So here's the thing about. Look, we're gonna just go straight into the ball talk. Okay, if you have a college football prop you want me to talk about, let me know. Today's whole stream is just talking college football. Okay. The thing about Georgia, Oscar Delp is like, he's probably gonna get drafted in the first 4 rounds. He's so good, but they spread the ball so much that, like, if we just go look at his PFF targets, like, he has multiple games this year where he plays 70 snaps. 70 might be a little bit dramatic. He plays a lot of snaps and literally gets no targets just because they'll throw it to Lawson Lucky. They have a 5-star tight end that's a freshman who gets a couple targets a game. It's just insane. And Oscar Delp's such a good blocker that Oscar Delp on like a play action, he'll stay in and block and let this 5-star, like 6'6" Elias Williams go run a route. So I'm not really going to like it. But let's go look at let's just go look at how many targets he has. I mean, Colby Young's only played in 7 games, has more targets. Oscar Delp has 26. Lawson Lucky has 25. Here's Elias Williams, who has 10. I don't know. Bama going home today. If it's raining, yeah, like if you later today, if you turn on the broadcast and you see it's pissing rain in the Rose Bowl, nuke Indiana money line. Alabama has no chance in the rain. Need a rent slip. You're not. This is not the. I don't post like 2K goblins for you to pay your rent. Like, that's how you lose, honestly. Brady said, what up? Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Dante Moore in the rush yards. I'll look at it. Who's winning today? I think Bama covers. I don't think Bama wins, but I think Bama could cover. And then Oregon and UGA. Stop betting to pay off a low debt, but I'm still in the Discord. Do you think it's still worth making a few $100 bankroll and continue to bet rather than completely stopping for now? Yeah, I'd say if you have over a $500 bankroll, it's worth it. De'Aaron Hill under. Who the fuck is De'Aaron? That is not Alabama's running back's name. Daniel Hill. Okay, I was going to say, it's not De'Aaron. No way. Thoughts on Nate Frazier rushing? There's a play I like, and we can talk about it. Okay, this is actually what I had pulled up when you guys joined. Nate Frazier rushing yards is something that I played. Now, I got it at 60.5. 67.5 now. I still think that's fine. Another thing that I played was Jacoby Williams rush yards. But let's start on Nate Frazier because that's the one that I really like. Okay, you paid my rent a few times? Yeah, for sure. I'm just saying I'm not going to post like a 2-leg goblin where you can throw down 2K to make $1,000. Like, like 2K to pay 3K. Because that's how you lose long term. I just have strong plays. That's why I win so much. It's because I don't force anything or randomly throw down rent money. Okay, Nate Frazier rush yards. If you go look at Georgia versus Ole Miss, game 1. Let's go look at it. Schedule, Ole Miss. First of all, Georgia was playing from behind for a lot of this game, okay? Playing from behind for a lot. Nate Frazier had 17 attempts for 72 yards, 4.2 a carry. Chauncey Bowens, which is Nate Frazier's backup, had 10 attempts for 61 yards for 6.1 yards a carry. So combined, they had 130 yards. And they were averaging 5 yards a carry combined. The thing is, Chauncey Bowens has not been healthy since, I think it was the Mississippi State game, maybe the Texas game. If you go look at his game log, Florida, he played 11 snaps. So you can see, like, through here, he was playing 16, getting 12 carries, 15 carries. Ole Miss had 10, 9. Mississippi State, he didn't play between Texas and Alabama because we played other games besides that. Only played 6 snaps against Alabama after missing 2 weeks before that or whatever, right? I don't know how healthy he is. And Nate Frazier has been insane since Chauncey Bowens went down. So are they going to want to feed Chauncey Bowens in his second game back from injury when Nate Frazier has been one of the best running backs in college football since Chauncey Bowens went down? I don't think so. I don't think it's going to be this split where it's because in these games it was like a 1-to-1 split. Like Kentucky, he probably out-touched Nate Frazier. Alabama, he probably out-touched Nate Frazier. Florida, I think Nate had 11 carries. He had 9, you know? They were like a 1A, 1B. It was like, I don't want to say Gibbs-Montgomery now because Gibbs owns it, but like last year, Gibbs-Montgomery were like, they would both be 12.5 carries, and they would both share the rock a lot. I don't think that's a thing. And how Ole Miss plays defense is they want to create havoc. They are not playing defense where they're just going to line up and try to beat you with talent, okay? So something that Ole Miss does a lot is they have 4 down linemen, right? They have like a guy that's in the nose tackle. He's playing head up on the center or on the center shoulder or on the guard shoulder. And it'll be like 2nd and 5. And he will stunt. So he's leaving his gap and going across the center's face to like the 3 or the 4 over here, right? They're stunt. And that absolutely kills your run game. If you look at their run stats, they're like bottom 40 in yards per carry. They're bottom 40 in rush yards allowed per game. You can look right here. They're 45th in EPA allowed per rush, and Georgia's a top 10 team in EPA per rush. EPA is just estimated points added. Georgia's really good at running the ball. They have a really good offensive line. And Ole Miss, especially their defensive coordinator, is their head coach now, so maybe he does this more because the defensive coordinator is one that's calling all these stunts. It's going to leave massive gaps for Nate Frazier. I really like Nate Frazier today. I think that's how Georgia wins the game. So I'm playing Nate Frazier. Rush yards. I played it at 60.5. The other play I liked, which we'll talk about this one now, is Jacoby Williams over 45.5. And this is not a Nate Frazier where, okay, I think Georgia's better. I think Georgia's going to win running the ball. I think Georgia's going to play from ahead. I think Nate Frazier is going to have a very good game. The Texas Tech one, I don't even know if Texas Tech wins this game. I know this right here. This is just based on their EPA because Texas Tech has been absolutely destroying every team they've played. So they look so good. But Texas Tech is a very good rushing offense. And Cameron Dickey and Jacoby Williams are 2 running backs. They are like a 1A, 1B split. They'll both get 10 carries or whatever. I just think Jacoby Williams is insanely talented. And I think that how Oregon's going to play defense is they're just going to try to make Texas Tech move down the field. Like we talked about with Ole Miss, they're a havoc-wrecking defense. They do all these stunts, and they're trying to get you to cross turnovers. I don't think that's how Oregon plays. Oregon comes from the Dan Lanning, Kirby Smart tree, where he is going to make you march down the field. And that's good for a Jacoby Williams rush prop because he's going to have so many plays down there. He's going to get 10, 12, 13 carries. And he's so talented where it's like a 3 yards per carry. I'm not asking for 5 yards a carry from because he's not going to get that versus Oregon. But I played it at 45.5. That's actually all I need to catch a 6-leg parlay. 3-leg parlay 4-6X. At 50.5 though, I'm more inclined to just say I don't know if I'd play that. Like I think Nate Frazier now, if you're just now coming, I think I'd play 80.5 rushing plus receiving yards because he does get a couple targets out of the backfield on low swing routes and stuff, and I like that. Someone's asking me, so Reggie Virgil, let me read these real quick. You're talking about the guy that said Daniel Hill. De'Aaron Hill. I'll be honest. He's like the 3rd string running back on Oregon. Texas Tech has a really good rush defense. I think their passing defense is very good too, but that's where I think they're more susceptible. So I really don't know. If you're wanting to take that under, that's fine. I mean, he's probably going to get like... Here's the thing, right? You would think in a game that is win or go home, you're going to lead on your lead back more. Noah Whittington, right? This is like... Just like in a playoff game, you would expect the Lions to give the ball to Jahmyr Gibbs more. David Montgomery spells Jahmyr Gibbs. It helps keep him healthy and all that stuff. But, like, Jahmyr Gibbs is obviously better. It's the same thing. Noah Whittington's probably better. Has more trust. You can leave him in on blocking plays in a close game, etc. versus De'Aaron Hill. Because I don't know too much about how De'Aaron Hill is a run blocker, right? I don't watch every Oregon game, especially the 3rd string running back. Like, I know Noah Whittington because he's been there for a while. But I think I would definitely not play it over. So I think the under's fine there. Value, what's up, Hydro? Reggie Virgil, you're talking about under receiving yards? What about Texas Tech field goal kicker? I know this guy just said don't be a last five better because I think this is popular. But honestly, I don't think that's that bad of a bet. Texas Tech, if you could, let me see if this thing has a. Okay, so look. This is Texas Tech's offense points per quality. I wish it showed red zone success rate because I know that I watch like a lot of college football stat shows and stuff in my free time. I know Texas Tech struggles in the red zone. If you look like BYU, the 2 times they played, so BYU he had 5, then he had 4. That's the best defense they played all year. Once they get in the red zone, that's where good quarterbacks like really elevate your offense. So if you have a bad quarterback and you get to the red zone a lot because of talent or good play calling, that's where the red zone's the hardest place because the field shrinks, you can't call as many plays, and that's where a quarterback really steps up. Texas Tech has the worst quarterback left in the college football playoffs. Let me make sure that's a fact. Yeah, Texas Tech has the worst quarterback left in college football playoff. He really holds their team back. Really does. If they had like a different quarterback, they'd be favored in this game. So I really don't think the field goal made is actually that bad. I don't know like what it's paying out. 3.5x. I mean, I really don't think that's that bad. Just because I do expect them to move the ball, but they do struggle in the red zone. Cameron Dickey receiving yards from a streak like 5. I wouldn't play that. I don't know what it is, but Jacoby Williams their receiving back. 15.5. Yeah, I don't know. That just seems random. You're just praying on a catch to go long. He's gonna get 1 catch, maybe 2, and you're just praying that he breaks one. I don't really like those like low 15.5 receiving yard props. I like Trinidad under passing yards, but they bumped it up. I could see Trinidad going. Trinidad's insane though. Would you take the under or more? No, just because I don't think he's good doesn't mean his under's good. That's not how it works. Like I think I think Fernando Mendoza's insane, but he's only 217. It doesn't mean take the over because it's all game script and how do they want to win and etc. Dante Moore interceptions. He had 2 against Jamie. Okay, so you wouldn't take the Reggie Virgil. You'd rather take the RB. Sorry. I'll talk about Reggie Virgil and I'll keep answering questions. So Reggie Virgil, I actually took his under. Unless I'm tripping. Hold up. Let me make sure. I was between 2 plays. I don't remember if I posted it before I say I took his under. Okay, no, I didn't. I took Caleb Douglas. I was between 2. I took Caleb Douglas under, but I took him under receiving yards. I mean, under fantasy. I got 11.5 on underdog. If you know anything about underdog fantasy, that is 0.5 points PPR. If you play fantasy football, you know the difference between PPR and half PPR, right? If you go for 5 catches, 50 yards, in PPR, that's 10 points. And half PPR, that's 7.5. It's a pretty major difference. So if you're going to give, let's see what his receptions line is. Caleb Douglas, I'm talking about. Okay, so he's like 4 because he's 4.5 demon. Let's just say 4. If you give him 4 catches, let's just say 60 yards, that's 10 fantasy and PPR or on prize picks, right? Where you get a point per every catch. On underdog, that's only 8. So I have a lot more wiggle room. So I took the under 11.5 on underdog for Caleb Douglas. Reggie Virgil, do I like his under receiving yards? Let me look for you. Let me pull this over here. Talk to you about Kansas City. Reggie Virgil fantasy. I'm looking at Reggie Virgil props. Someone said Dante Moore interceptions. He had 2 versus Jamie. Much better turnover defense. I don't think that's how I would look at it. Let me see if it's like a normal line. I definitely would tell you that. Where's interceptions? I'm guessing you're not even talking about that on prize picks. You're talking about that on something else, aren't you? So we're talking about Reggie Virgil receiving yards. You guys are wanting to take the over. I personally would not touch that. I think that's a good line. I think it's too close for me to bet either side. Do you see him getting in the end zone with Oregon playing so fast for more opportunity? I don't know who him is. Probably who you think going to come out on top this game? Texas Tech, Oregon. I mean, I just feel like, dude, both of these teams are really good. This is definitely the closest game, most talented matchup between the two. And I really just want to lean Oregon because they have a better quarterback and a better coach, probably. And it's hard. Like, if you have the better quarterback and the better coach, it's hard for me not to take you. I think you saw it last night. I really don't like Julian Sayin. Not saying in the future. I'm talking about right now, today. I do not think Julian Sayin is an amazing quarterback. I don't know if he's better than Carson Beck, though, because Carson Beck's not that great either. Why the Alabama running back line's low? Because Alabama fucking sucks at running the ball. In the SEC Championship versus Georgia, they literally had -3 rushing yards as a team. And everyone on the staff knows it. Everyone. Okay, it's 2nd and 3, and Alabama's passing the ball because they're not confident in their running game. And you don't even know who's gonna. This has Jam Miller, the starting running back at 28.5, the backup at 32, which this guy's the better runner. But this guy can't pass block. So then this guy ends up getting snaps because if you see this guy in, you know they're going to run the ball. Because if they pass block, he's ass and he's going to kill Ty Simpson. But if you see this guy in, you know it's a pass. So then they end up handing him the ball off a couple times just to try to keep the defense honest. But he's terrible. He can't make anybody miss. He's slow. I don't know if it's because he got hurt and he got rushed back. He just does not look good. Because he wasn't that bad last year. Will my Hoosiers get the dub today? If it's raining, absolutely. It's free. If I turn on the game and it's pouring, I'm going to nuke Indiana. The other missing thing just woke up. Most thing I talked about was Nate Frazier rush yards. I really like that. And let me see if Underdog has bumped the other 2 plays I took. You'll take under 11.3 on Douglas. If you're talking about on Underdog, yes. Let me see if they bumped anything I played. Okay, so I played that. And I played... Okay, so this is bumped, but we can go this. There's the parlay I would submit if I was on Underdog right now. Caleb Douglas, under 11.35 fantasy. This is just pure value, plus whatever you want to call it. It's just a good bet. There's no, this matchup... Look, on Prize Picks, he is 11.5 fantasy. And that is in full PPR. So if you're going to say he has 4 catches, that's a 2-point difference between this and Underdog, except he's the same line. Right? So Caleb Douglas, I really like that. Fernando Mendoza, same thing. 20.5 when it's supposed to be raining. It's going to be a tough game to score in. He's 17.5 on Prize Picks. And I'm getting 20.65 on Underdog. And then Nate Frazier rush yards. I just think Nate Frazier, Georgia, is going to have a very good game. Yes, I'm biased. I don't care. The GOAT Mark says Alabama. If it's raining, that's a terrible bet. But if it's not raining, I really like Alabama. Trying to put together a 6-man slip for college football today and starting with Frazier. Yeah, I like Frazier rush yards. If it's not raining, I mean, I keep saying this, but if it's raining, it's going to lead to a nasty, low-scoring game, or a team who's better on the ground and defense has to win. That's Indiana. But if it's a 40-35 game, it's because Alabama absolutely diced them. Oregon team total under 50.5 points lean. I think you mean the whole game. There's no way that their team totals. I mean, obviously, that's negative 1,000. Is the game 50.5? How do you feel about Dante Moore fantasy on Price Pick? 16.5 on UD is damn near 19. So you're talking about over. Let me see. Because I actually do think that's a pretty good over. I wouldn't take the under on Underdog. I think I'd take the over like you're talking about. That boy Mark just texted me and said he wants to get on. I like the under, Junior. So Dante Moore. I think the over's okay there. I don't know if I'll play it, but I think it's okay. So they're starting to upload fantasy. Ty Simpson looks right. Mendoza looks right. Surratt looks pretty good. Bernard, I think, might be low. All these looked right when I checked. Bernard might be kind of low. Let me see what they have Bernard props at. He's 4.5 catches, 53 yards. Okay, so yeah, he's right. I do think Bernard has a good game. Thanks, brother. Let's smack today. Yep. Did you say you liked under patch ups? Would you say away? Teams are not 0-5 on bye. Well, last year, like the teams with a bye were like 3 of the teams with a bye were underdogs. Because Boise State had a bye, Arizona State had a bye, and Georgia without their quarterback had a bye. So it makes sense that those teams lost. Ohio State versus Oregon. I don't know who was favored. I feel like Ohio State was. But that game was probably like a pick 'em, honestly. So, whatever. I don't really care about last year. This year, you've only seen Ohio State and Miami, so I don't know. I do think having a lot of time off does hurt sometimes. That's where I think coaching matters. And that's why I'm not as worried about Georgia with this bye as I am Ohio State. Because I don't think Ryan Day is that good of a coach. I think Kirby Smart's the best coach in college football. Kirby Smart can make practices more challenging than game days. Gunnar Stockton literally had an interview where he was like, I get more nervous for Friday walkthroughs, or he didn't call them walkthroughs, he called them something else, than I do for game days because it's so challenging on Friday because of what Kirby and the defense does. So I'm not worried about that. Ohio State wasn't pretty sure. I had the hiccups. I think so too. Because I'm pretty sure that I know I had Ohio State going to the Natty last year, and I think it was because they were like the 3rd best odds. You got to let Mark get on after that Miami call yesterday? Okay, I'll call Mark. Who's Jackson Kirkbride? Let me FaceTime Mark. Mark tries to hop on a phone call. Like that. Chat wants to see Mark's face. Let's see if the GOAT answers. Okay, you got to play the day ready?
You ready?
Yeah. Do you got one?
Bring me up to the big one.
I am. Okay, chat. Here we go. Let me give a little context real quick. Chat. I got a best friend. His name's Mark. He likes to bet. He's a bit of a degenerate. Might not be the best bettor, but he's fun. He's got to play the day. Yesterday's play day was Miami. It smacked. Plus 280 or whatever it was. Play the day incoming. The GOAT Mark. What you got for us?
Play the day. Bama money line. That's it.
What odds?
Plus 210, I think is what it is. Plus 205. Plus 7's a lock. Zeke keeps saying run game, run game, run game. Georgia gave up, I think, made them force -3 yards on the run game. That's all they heard about, all right? Give me Bama. Give me the money. Give me plus money. Fuck what Zeke says. Let's have a fucking day. Right?
You're not worried about the rain?
Yeah, it's pouring.
Have you seen today?
Listen. It's old SEC football. That's what it comes down to. Bama's not playing this game again, -3 yards. Not to mention, I think 3 games this season, Oregon, Penn State, and I think Old Dominion.
Yeah.
Indiana gave up like 120 yards.
Rushing?
3 games.
Yeah, I mean, I know Penn State slashed them rush yards.
I mean, come on, man.
Okay.
Come on, man.
I can't believe play of the day's not UGA money line.
Oh, no, I mean, come on, dude. I'm giving the fans juice. I understand -245.
Someone said it's been raining 6 straight days. Okay, that's the GOAT Mark play of the day.
And hold on. Let me add one more thing.
Okay, here we go. One more play.
No. This isn't one more play.
Oh.
The parlay for today: Texas Tech, Bama, Georgia. $50 wins you $450. Hammer it and let me know how it goes. That's it.
All right. Deuces.
Bye.
Okay, you heard it there. You heard it there first. He likes Alabama. Now let's get back to God, what was I talking about before I called him? It's the mustache? Yeah, he does have a mustache. My dog is live. Morning Phillips, what's up, dogger? It's pouring right now in LA. Yeah, so that makes me if it's pouring, I really worry about Alabama money line. But okay, back to the spread. Back to the favorites thing, right? Last year they went 0-4, but like if you go look at the bracket last year, Texas Tech was 100% favored over Arizona State. Texas. Okay? Texas just slapped Clemson. Texas Tech was a higher seed. It was just because of the bullshit where they were a CFB champion or whatever. Ohio State probably was favored over Oregon. I don't know because Oregon just beat Penn State, and I think Ohio State beat Oregon, or Oregon beat Ohio State 2 weeks before. That one's close, though. Penn State was definitely favored over Boise State. Notre Dame was definitely favored over Notre Dame or over Georgia without Carson Beck. So I really don't care about like bye teams going 0-4 last year. If it happens again this year, then I'm like, who? Because you would expect. I really think it could go 3-1. Because Miami winning really makes it to where like Oregon could easily win. I could easily see Alabama winning. If Georgia loses, holy shit, change the fucking thing. Like I guess you just can't have it. But 28 days off is insane. Like I don't know why that's the schedule. These are the 3 plays so far that we've talked about. You like the under for the Bama game? Yeah, I mean if it's pouring, it's 47.5. Let's see what it's steaming. So don't play Fernando Mendoza under fantasy. No, that's like a 3-point difference. Let's see the total. Alabama, Indiana. Yeah, I mean it's been hit hard. I'm gonna show you guys this real quick, so you can see right here. It opened at 49.5 on the 20th, and it got hit down to 49, got hit down to 48, got hit down to 47, kind of bumped up, 47, 48, just been bouncing around 47. That's with, I mean, this is all with the weather known, because I've been hearing about the rain talks for like 4 days now. So 47.5 is probably pretty accurate. Can you get the best 2 days for the first game today? Fernando Mendoza under fantasy. Oh no, the first game is Texas Tech, Oregon. All I've played in that game is this Caleb Douglas prop. Oh, no, I played Jacoby Williams over yards, too. I played Jacoby Williams over 45.5 rush yards, and I played Caleb Douglas under 11.35 fantasy. Georgia Miss under 2. I could see that under hitting, too, yeah. 55.5. I could see that. Honestly, I could see every single game going under. Oregon minus 1.5 is a Nukenheimer. Okay, buddy. Frazier, rush plus receiving to 77.5. Yeah, I like that. Would you take Dante Moore passing yards? I don't know. I don't think so. Bama game is 48.5 on UD. Shall I ride that under? If it's even money, yeah, take that. No Caleb Douglas under fantasy on Prize Picks? No. Guys, this is something so... If you are going to tell me, you have to understand this. Prize Picks and Underdog have different scoring. One is full point PPR, one is half point PPR. If you play fantasy, you know the difference. If you go for 5 catches, 50 yards on Prize Picks, that's 10 points. The same exact stat line on Underdog is 7.5. Okay? So, like, Caleb Douglas, I'm getting at the same line, basically. But I just told you, if you go for 5 for 50, that's a 2.5 point difference. And it gets even higher. If you go 6 for 60, that's 12 versus 9. That's a 3-point difference, right? So it's really important that you understand that. Quarterback scoring is the same, but I'm getting Fernando Mendoza at 20.65 on Prize Picks. He's whatever he is, like 17.5. Fantasy score, he's 17.5. And then the last one I got Nate Frazier, 65.5 rushing yards. That is just a prop. I was going to say that's the same line on Prize Picks. I think he's 68.5. 69.5, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and tweet this play out. Let me go ahead and tweet this banger. Oh, yeah, I'm finna make a banger with this one. So, Caleb Douglas under 58.5 receiving is a good alternate? No. Because, again, he could go 6 for 60. That's over receptions. That's over yards. And he would only have 9 fantasy here. And that's over the Prize Picks line. That's why this Underdog line is so good. He could go over the Prize Picks fantasy line, over his receiving prop, over his reception prop, and still be 2.5 points under on Underdog. Now, obviously, if he scores a touchdown, it's chalked. But you like take that risk. What's the play on Prize Picks? 118 under 48.5 on Bama underdog. I like that. I wonder if I can play that. Let me see. Let me just make sure that that's good before I like play it. So 48.5 at minus 118. Minus 108 poly market, so maybe not. Okay, so let's say 40. I mean, that's fine. Decorian more receiving under. I don't know what his issue is, like injury, so I'm staying away from that. Anyone on Oregon? A lot of people are on Oregon that I talked to. What's the play for Prize Picks? I just said that. Okay, cool. We'll just do under 57.5. Bro, this Depper guy like actually is not listening to me. There's no way that he's. If he has the volume up on my stream, I can't. There's no way. Fantasy score change for Mendoza. Ooh, my tweet. I mean, I still like that, but let me make sure my tweet had 26.5, 20.65. I still like 20.15 though. I'm not really worried about that. Okay, did that 20.65. I'm fine with that. Hey, if you're in the stream right now, go comment stream on this post so I know you're in here, okay? Just say I got it from stream or something, okay? I'm fine with that. But what I was saying was there's no way this guy has his volume up because he asked me, am I okay with Caleb Douglas under 55.5 or whatever it was? And I said, no, because he could go over his reception prop, over yards, over the Prize Picks fantasy, and still be under the underdog fantasy. And he said, okay, cool, I'll take under yards. Don't say stream on this. Go say stream on this post. Got it from the stream. Stream, baby. Let's go, Luke. Again, ask me more plays if you're interested. I love talking college football. You can ask me anything, really. Spreads. I'll talk about spreads for college football way more than I do for NFL. Because NFL, it's just too sharp for sides. Okay. Is Frazier your favorite straight bet? Yes. It is. Can I build a 3-man on Prize Picks? I'll look. I already tell you 2 plays that I took, okay? I took Jacoby Williams at 45.5. I took Nate Frazier at 65.5. These are 4-yard bumps each. I don't know if I would play this at a 4-yard bump. I probably would, just for less. Both these I think are okay, but like for 0.5 now. Okay, Indiana -7 is a fade. Yeah, I don't expect. I definitely think Alabama +7 is a good play, even in the rain. I think that's a good play. I like these 2. Okay. Georgia leading, so take Chambliss attempts. It's just a goblin, so I'm fine. Like I don't take anything that won't let me take the under on. By the way, that is a very good rule for betting. Okay, and I'll explain it real quick why people ask me questions. And it makes total sense, okay? My best comparison just popped in my head, I don't know why, but this is a good comparison in my head, is when you can take the over and the under on something, it's like a democracy, right? People can choose which side they want to take. They can adjust the line to make it as fair as possible. Because if you can only take the over, they could literally price this at 0.2x, and you have no option but to only take the over. There's no under holding them accountable. This is like a dictatorship, right? If you go to China, or I don't know, better, if you go to North Korea, they could charge $55 for a gallon of milk, and because there's no one that can undercut them, that's just what it is. And it's the same thing when you can only take one side of a bet. There's nothing to undercut or keep the sports books honest, and they can charge whatever price they want. But if you have something that's an over and an under, where you're having to keep both sides fair because if they have something too high, everyone can just hit the under. If they have something too low, everyone can just hit the over, right? But if you can only choose one side, they could price that shit at whatever they want to. So never take a bet. Almost ever. I never take goblins or demons. I've taken one in my entire time on Prize Picks that weren't correlated. Never take something that will not let you take the under. It's the same thing with like a touchdown score on FanDuel. FanDuel almost always has worse odds for a touchdown score than a place like Pinnacle because Pinnacle offers the over and the under. So they can't offer Derrick Henry at like -1. They can offer Derrick Henry like -250 like FanDuel will because then the under would have to be like +190. Everyone to hit that under and then move the line, right? But on FanDuel, you can only take the over. You can only take yes, touchdown scorer. So they could literally offer Derrick Henry at -400 and there's still going to be people that click it because there's nothing keeping them honest. I don't know why I went to dictatorship and democracy, but that's the best example I have. This right here is like pure dictatorship, evil. They can charge whatever price they want. This is democracy. This is good right here, where you can take the over and the under. Rush attempts, right? Oh. They posted Dickey and Whittington. And that goblin we took missed due to injury. Yeah, bro. I took one goblin in my entire Prize Picks Discord history. And it was because it was mispriced pretty strongly. It was like I got like 12.5 and it made a 3-leg parlay like 5.25x. But he was 4 rush attempts off and the rush attempt line was juiced over. So it was like a really bad line. And he missed because he got injured. So, and I didn't get a reboot because it was a Duke game. So pass attempts, who pass attempts to take under? No one. I was just saying, if you can't take the under, then it's not a fair line. I don't think either of those are good unders. Let me look though. I haven't even looked at the pass attempts. Any thoughts on Himby? Hard to say. It's, I don't know. They have 2 backs. They have 2. God, I'm trying to think of what I'm trying to like look up the Dante Moore thing and answer the question. Sorry. Happy New Year's, Zeke. Happy New Year's, JR. They have 2 running backs and they kind of just hot-handed. Both of them get a lot of touches. So I don't know. I think Roman Himby's a good running back if that's what you're asking me. But like, I mean, both these guys are 60.5. Anytime you see something like that, it's just like, okay, this guy could get 15 carries if he's like averaging 6 yards a carry, and this guy's only averaging 3, or the other way around. I mean, they just removed Nate Frazier rush yards. Come on now, that's pushy shit. Why the fuck is Dylan Bell up for rush yards? Why the fuck is he up for rush yards? Does he really get that many carries? He had 4 carries against Alabama, but then like 1, 2. So he does get a carry a game, basically. Damn, I really think I want to take that under. He's averaging 6 yards an attempt. So he would need 2 attempts. You're basically betting on does he get 2 carries. Which I guess he does do in close games. He did it against, well, no, not close games, just recently. Huh. That's interesting. I always get tempted by like these. Like Mark Andrews was like 1.5 rush yards before he started doing it every game. This was like a while ago, last year. I always get tempted by those because it's so situational. Like, what are the chances the Ravens getting a 4th and 1 that they want to go for it, and Mark Andrews gets more than 1 yard? You know, it's just Dylan Bell 7.5 rush yards is kind of a lot. It was like, I think it should be like 4.5. You can see down here, even in games where he gets 1 carry, -6, -1, 3, -4, 6. I mean, he's only went over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I guess that's 5 out of 13 games. You seem to say LA from longest rush pass reception props. Any reason behind that? Yeah, I never take those. I guess it just feels kind of too variance. Feels too gimmicky. I don't know. I like stuff that you can have a lot of data to support, and like a longest receiving yard prop, or like a longest rush prop. Like let's just go to like okay. Damn. I did not think these guys would be 40 and a half. Happy New Year's, Greek. Hope you had a good New Year, my man. So, like, let's say 40 and a half for Trinidad, right? Let's use Gunnar Stockton as an example, because this would be my best example. Gunnar Stockton is going to throw 3 balls over 15 yards down the field the entire game. Okay? 3 balls over 15 yards. One of them is going to go out of bounds. So you're betting on 2 passes. That's your entire, like, of all the things you can bet on this game, you're betting on Gunnar Stockton, 2 passes, and you're hoping one of them gets caught and has enough yards to go over 40, right? Because it could easily get knocked down. It could go for 37. Obviously, it can complete a screen that goes for 40 yards, but that's, I mean, against Ole Miss, that could happen because they give up gaps. But, like, I don't know. That just seems so gimmicky to me. So that's not really, I'm more of a fan of, like, a pass attempt prop where if you can get the game script right, you know, like you're just betting on volume. You're betting on rush yards. You're betting on volume. Obviously, you could go like 5 carries and cover if you get lucky, but you're just betting on volume. So I really like those. So Mendoza under rush. Did you have Fernando Mendoza over? No, I had under 20 and a half fantasy. He's 19.75 now. Okay, it's 11:20. I'm about to go get something to grill for lunch and watch the game. I'm going to give you guys 3 more minutes to ask me any questions. I take unders on most of them. I can see that, Rodney. You can ask me any more questions in the next 3 minutes. I'll answer you. I do think this is a good play, by the way. I don't know if I'm going to play it yet, but... Bro, these motherfuckers are in the stream. You cannot tell me these motherfuckers are not in the stream. How the fuck is it a goblin at 7.5 rush yards? Are you kidding me? Bro. I cannot believe some dude that gets paid to make lines is sitting in my stream right now. Like, that is insane. Goblin is and they took down Nate Frazier that I was talking about. So Dylan Bell is on Bet365 at 7.5 even money. He's on Fliff. I might post that on Fliff, dude. He's also on Underdog. Again, though, this is so shitty. So Underdog has -120. Fliff has -120. Bet365 has -115. And it's a goblin here. Like, PrizePicks is so shitty for shit like this. Why is this a goblin when every other book in the world offers it at even money? It's still 7.5. Might throw a unit on it. I think I would. I know you're not a unit. I throw like a half unit. Just because I don't think that they should offer that. He's going to get like 1 carry. And it might not even be a carry. It could be like a, where he's running in front and they do like a little flip, you know? Like the Malachi Tony touchdown versus Texas A&M that was considered a pass. Like a jet. I don't know what they call it. It's not a jet pass. It's something else. It could be a handoff behind, though, because clearly that's mainly what they run. But, like, I want to look this up. Let me see what he's even running, dude. Oh, I forgot I can't even show this on stream, but I can do this. Let's see what this play is. Oh, that's the catch. I just want to see like 1 rush play. I'm not going to see one. Jacoby Williams over. Yes, I played that. Shuffle pass. Pop pass. Pop pass is what it's called. Thank you. Pop pass. It could just be a pop pass to where it's not even going to count for a rush yards prop. So I do think I'd play that. I might post on Bet3 or on Flip in a second. But all right. Oh, you're asking me questions. Jacoby Williams over, yes. Malik Benson. What the fuck is Malik Benson? Oh, the Oregon wide receiver. I don't have an opinion on that. Ty Simpson over pass touchdowns. I also, if it's 1.5 without a goblin, I'd play that. Oh, it's a demon at 1.5 in the rain. If when you get closer to the game, Sibling over without the Georgia bias, I'll look. Sometimes he gets the backward pass. Yeah, a lot of times they get. Look, I'll show you. This is a lot of what he gets. It's like Dylan Bell's over here. I'm Gunner Stockton. I'm just like blue 180, blue 180. Say what? And it's just a little jet sweep handoff. But it could be a little. It could be that. They took all my picks off on Underdog. Go look. They're still there. They're just bumped. Stribling over, but that's Georgia bias. I'll look at that for you, and then I'm leaving. So Stribling is at 45.5. I get scared because they have so many receivers. Let me see who leads them in snaps, because that's the guy I would say to take over. It might be Stribling. I don't know. Can you do that one more time, please? You're so cute, Zeke. Thank you, Brady. Let me see who does all their snaps real quick. Did I get anyone to jump off sides or no? What the fuck is Ole Miss called on this? Mississippi? I hate when they get called Mississippi, dude. Okay, so let's go. Yeah, let's look at this. So against Tulane, I'm curious. This was the first game without Lane. So Deuce, Daquan Wright, Kewan Lee, so Stribling, Harrison Wallace. Caden Lee was kind of in and out. Targets, it was Stribling. So it's just they go to 4 wide receiver sets. The guy that loses snaps the most is Deuce, Daquan, Stribling. Dude, Kewan Lacey plays so many snaps. Should be passing all game from behind. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they're going to be behind the entire game, but they should be. I think Stribling's good. I'd play that. The guy that asked about Stribling, I think that's good. What are you grilling? I don't know. Yes, dude. Bro. Okay, I don't even know if I want to tell you this story, but I'll tell you that real quick, okay? First of all, I grill at least 3 times a week. I cook a lot. I've cooked on a grill like a pellet smoker since I was like 14. And I'm about to turn 24, okay? For like 2 to 3 times a week for the last 10 years, basically. I love cooking on them. But the only things I ever cook really are like steak, burgers, chicken breast. Yesterday, I was like, you know what, dude? Let's try something new. It's New Year's Eve. Ole Miss. Ohio State. Miami's playing. I'm going to go get some chicken wings. I've never grilled chicken wings on this thing. I'm going to cook chicken wings. Okay? So I get chicken wings, season them, throw them on the grill, right? And I'm trying to like make fries because I was like cutting up fries and making them fresh at home while I was making wings, right? And every time I make a steak, okay, every fucking time I make a steak, I melt butter with some garlic and pour it on the steak. Or not pour it, baste it on the steak, right? By the way, that's how you make a steak really fucking good, is getting some butter on it, melted butter. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do the same thing with my wings. Because I like dry rub wings. I don't like my wings wet. So instead of like rubbing a barbecue glaze on there, I was just going to rub butter on it because it's so fat and it helps it melt and like get a nice glaze on it, right? So I'm trying to like do a bunch of things. Sarah has her whole family over. So I just end up melting a whole stick of butter and I'm pouring it on the wings. And I promise this story's going somewhere funny, so just give it a second. Pouring it on the wings. And I look in the pot and there's still a good amount of butter left. And I know that my fries are in the oil. I'm like, whatever, fuck it. I just pour the rest of this butter on. So I just take the pot of the pot of butter and pour it over the wings. And I walk inside. I take the fries out the fryer, walk back outside because I'm like, okay, these should be done. I walk outside. The grill is literally on fucking fire. On fire. I'm talking each wing is on fire. Like I took off the wing and I set it on the plate that I had. The fucking wing was on fire on the cutting board. I was like, what the fuck is happening right now? What the fuck is happening? This has never happened in 10 years. And I'm talking like Sarah, we have our back door is just like a glass door, you know? It has like a big window. And Sarah walks by and it's like, oh shit. And she comes outside and like Sarah is very, or she's just like any girl. Like, so I'm out there like just trying to like handle the shit, you know, like keep shit calm, you know? Because if you start cracking under pressure, pressure makes diamonds. So I'm out there being a diamond, right? Just getting the wings off, trying to figure out what's wrong. And then I realized it's probably because I poured a whole fucking pot of butter on it. But I've never made wings. And when I do steak, I do the butter, I flip it, and it gets up like a fire, which gives it a really nice char. Yeah, she thinks the whole neighborhood's about to burn down. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, the wings that like, I made like 40 wings, like 12 of them were bad. But the rest of them were pretty fucking good. These are the 3 plays if you're just now joining. So I don't know what I'm going to cook. But it ain't going to be fucking wings again, I'll tell you that. Or at least I'm not going to pour butter on it. Oh, I already see Fernando under fantasy. Cool. All right. I'm out of here. Yeah, extra crispy. Dude, some of those wings literally look like fucking tires. It was like you could throw those bitches on like a little kid's bike and they could drive on it. It was so bad. So this guy said, damn, this guy that just DM'd me is an OG. Caleb Douglas over. Dante Moore over. Jacoby Williams over. Trevor Bernard over. Air fry wings are delicious. Get skin nice crispy. I know, but bro, I'm a big Go Dogs. What's up, Lewis? I'm a big. I want everything like with like a some smoked flavor, some char. So I don't know what I'm making, but maybe I'll just go get some steaks. That's my favorite thing to cook. I make the fucking best steak ever. All right, no more questions. It seems we're all just making fun of my wings, so I'm out of here. If Georgia loses tonight, the next stream will probably not be till 2027. I might take a year off of streaming. If Georgia fucking loses tonight, I'm going to kill myself. All right? Everyone have a good stream. Happy New Year's.